In the intricate tapestry of human history, there are certain events so profound that they have not only shaped our past, but also continued to influence our present in ways we often don't realize. These moments serve as cornerstones, defining not just what we believe, but also how we live. And so today, we're going to embark on a journey through time to explore two such monumental events, creation and the Great Flood. This is a story about beginnings and second chances, about the birth of our world and the resilience of life. It's a narrative that has echoed through generations, leaving an indelible mark on our collective consciousness. But how much do we really know about these events? Are they simply tales passed down through generations, or do they hold deeper truths about our existence? Let's find out. Creation. The Genesis creation account is one of the oldest and most influential stories of creation in human history. Found in the first chapter of the book of Genesis in the Bible, this account offers a unique perspective on the origins of the universe, the earth, and humanity. The account describes a six-day process by which God created the heavens and the earth, culminating in the creation of humankind in his own image. Day 1, God created light and separated it from darkness. Day 2, he created an expanse and separated the waters above from those below. Day 3, he gathered the waters into one place and created dry land with its vegetation, including the Garden of Eden. Day 4, he created the sun, moon, and stars to serve as lights for the earth. Day 5, he created sea creatures and birds. Day 6, he created land animals, and finally humans, both male and female. On the seventh day, God rested, setting it apart as a holy day of rest. There are several fascinating aspects of this creation account. First, the order of creation. Unlike many other ancient creation myths, the Genesis account does not present a chaotic primordial state that needs to be organized. Instead, the world is brought into existence in an orderly and purposeful way. Each day's creation is distinct and significant. Second, the role of God. The account clearly attributes all creation to a single, all-powerful God who speaks things into existence. This monotheistic perspective is another distinctive feature of this creation story. Third, the creation of humanity. The Genesis account highlights the special status of humans who are created in God's own image. This concept suggests a close relationship between God and humanity, emphasizing the dignity and value of human life. Finally, the Sabbath. The account concludes with God setting aside the seventh day as a day of rest and blessing. This act established a pattern of worship and reminded humanity of their special relationship with God. Scientific interpretation. From a scientific perspective, the Genesis creation account raises questions due to its apparent conflict with well-established scientific theories. For example, the theory of evolution, which explains the diversity of life on Earth through natural processes, contradicts the idea of special creation. Similarly, the age of the Earth estimated to be billions of years old, based on geological and astronomical evidence, conflicts with the literal six-day creation account. However, some argue that science and religion are not mutually exclusive, and that one can hold both scientific and religious beliefs simultaneously. They propose that the Genesis account may contain symbolic or metaphorical language, intended to convey theological truths rather than scientific facts. Additionally, the account can be seen as providing a framework for understanding humanity's purpose and place in the universe within a relationship with the Creator. Ultimately, reconciling scientific and religious perspectives on the origin of life remains a complex and highly personal matter. The Garden of Eden. Following the creation of the world and humanity, the Genesis account shifts focus to the Garden of Eden, the initial home of Adam and Eve. In this idyllic location, humans lived in harmony with God and nature until the infamous fall of humanity. This narrative element introduces profound theological themes related to sin, temptation, and the consequences of disobedience. The Garden of Eden serves as a microcosm of the world created on the sixth day, containing features like a river that flowed out and watered the garden, and various types of trees, including the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. This garden paradise highlights the beauty and abundance of God's creation, emphasizing the blessings bestowed upon humanity. The central event in this part of the Genesis narrative is the fall of humanity. Tempted by the serpent, Eve eats from the forbidden tree of the knowledge of good and evil, thereby violating the explicit commandment introduces sin and its consequences into the world. As a result, Adam and Eve experience a loss of innocence and are expelled from the garden, marking a significant turning point in human history. The significance of the fall lies in its portrayal of humanity's capacity for disobedience and the introduction of sin into an otherwise harmonious world. It establishes a trajectory of conflict between humanity and God, setting the stage for the broader narrative arc of redemption that unfolds throughout the Bible. The flood narrative. After the creation account and the narrative of the fall, the Genesis account shifts to the story of the Great Flood. This narrative describes a catastrophic event in which all living beings, except those aboard Noah's Ark, are destroyed because of the wickedness of humanity. The story begins with God expressing regret over creating humanity and deciding to bring about a worldwide flood. God instructs Noah, a righteous man, to build an ark to preserve himself, his family, and pairs of animals. When the floodwaters recede, Noah and the surviving creatures come to rest on the mountains of Ararat. God then establishes a covenant with Noah, promising never again to destroy the earth by flood, and using the rainbow as a symbol of this promise. The story of the flood holds several intriguing elements. Firstly, the universality of the flood. This is not a localized event, but a worldwide catastrophe that affects all living beings, emphasizing the scope and severity of the destruction. Secondly, the role of divine judgment. The narrative clearly states that God is the agent of the flood, bringing it about due to the wickedness of humanity. This aspect introduces a strong element of divine retribution into the story. Thirdly, the preservation of life through Noah's Ark. Despite the overwhelming judgment, God chooses to preserve life by providing Noah with instructions to build an ark. This act of mercy offers a glimmer of hope amidst the destruction. Finally, the establishment of a new covenant after the flood. God establishes a new relationship with Noah and all living creatures, symbolizing a fresh start and a renewed purpose for life on earth. Scientific and historical perspectives. From a scientific perspective, the flood narrative raises questions regarding its historical accuracy and geographical scope. A global flood of the magnitude described in Genesis would have left substantial geological and hydrological evidence. However, such evidence is lacking, leading many scientists to conclude that a worldwide flood did not occur. Additionally, the presence of fossils of marine creatures and sedimentary rocks that are millions of years old contradicts the biblical account of a recent global flood. Some argue that the Genesis flood narrative may be an ideological myth, meaning it was created to explain natural phenomena or other aspects of human culture. This interpretation suggests that the story served an ancient theological function rather than intending to provide a literal historical account. Others suggest that the flood narrative may be based on real but localized floods that were exaggerated over time, eventually becoming a more extensive story. The possibility of multiple historical events that inspired the narrative cannot be ruled out. So there you have it, a glimpse into the profound narratives of creation and the flood. These stories are not just ancient tales, but foundational moments in human history that continue to shape our understanding of the world and our place in it. What do you think about these two significant events? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Your comments help us create more engaging content, so please take a moment to share your insights. Also, before you go, please don't forget to subscribe for more informative videos like this.